Hey minions, welcome to Crank It Up. I'm Jim Price, and on this episode of King of the Hill, I'm going to be talking about Space Knight of the Astro Knights. I think I am unfairly biased against this card, and I'm not sure why. The Astro Knights have a unique structure with all unique minions, 3 of which have 4 power. The ones I fear most are Space Prince because of the extra action plays, and Walking Carpet because of the last minute power surge. Scoundrel can provide great value as a base breaker as you move to your real target. I even like Ghost Knight as the minion version of a rotary slug thrower. But Space Knight has 5 power, so is she the King Minion? Probably, but in the past I haven't been as fond of her ability as I should have, which is surprising because I'm usually a big fan of card draw. If you believe that minions get better as they scale up through a faction, and you look at the wizards, you will realize that card draw is on their tier 3 minion, and the better minions have action play, which is the opposite of the order of the Astro Knights. But you also have to factor in the surge aspect of the Space Knight as well as the card draw. Therefore, I had to think critically for this video to assess her true value, and it took me to some unexpected places. Space Knight has a talent that has you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may draw one of the revealed actions, if there are any, returning the cards in any order. This functions as a combination between a spy and a manners bot. Unless you are playing robots, there's a good chance that one of those cards will be an action, but there may not be any, in which case you do not draw any cards. In that case, the spy is more valuable because only you see your cards, and that's problematic for me. I really don't like revealing my cards to my opponents. Sometimes this is inevitable when I play certain factions, but there are caveats to revealing cards, particularly for the Astro Knights, who have a lot of unique minions. When a minion is revealed, such as a Power 2 minion, the reveal of that card has very little implications about your hand because there are multiple copies of that card. But for the Astro Knights, who have unique minions, when I see a unique minion, I can rule out with certainty that it is not in your hand, not this turn. This gives me a lot of information on my next turn, and assures me that you have the card to play on your next. So when you reveal a card like Ghost Knight, I know that strategy is coming. When you reveal Walking Carpet, I know to boost my power significantly on a base, and these are just minions. When a special action is revealed, I now know that you have it in your hand, and I can prepare a counter. This may be me overanalyzing the situation, but I've honestly had a lot of success using opponent reveals against them. So I certainly don't like offering that information to my opponents. However, the Astro Knights are extremely strong, and Space Knight plays a large role in increasing their effectiveness. The problem with singular card draw is that you may not get what you want, whereas Space Knight triples your chances to draw an action. This can be an action that you play with Space Prince to increase your power, or the one you save for Walking Carpet. If you reveal more than 2 actions, you can arrange them such that Manners Bot can draw the second card. Drawing 2 cards with just talents? That's really powerful, especially when you consider that card draw abilities tend to be capped at once per turn. The extra action that you can play can also generate a +1 counter from Alien Guru, so you could easily see how the Space Knight is the general bringing out the effectiveness of all of her subordinates, like a King Minion should. More often than not, you will draw one of the 3 cards, and you will know what the other 2 cards are, cards that you will draw at the end of your turn. Like the old saying goes, knowledge is power, which is why I don't like giving that power to others, but it can still be significant to the Astro Knights. I can recall one game where I drew Use the 4s unexpectedly, which gave me the confidence to activate Scoundrel to move 2 minions over to a completely unexpected base where Use the 4s gave me the lead. I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time, but you could also use Space Knight as a prep for It's a Trap, since it would give you knowledge over what card you are getting. Note that the card draw is optional, and you could bury the action as the 3rd card, meaning you never draw it because you draw the other 2, putting the card on top of your deck. This can turn any card into a special, and you'd have to ask what card has more value as a special than in Phase 2. I actually thought about doing this when I was playing Astro Pirates. I wanted Powder Keg to be the top card of my deck at all times so that I could play it on a Space Knight as a special, blowing up every minion on that base but my Ghost Knight, and causing my opponents to lose all of their minions unexpectedly, and I win the base with 0 power. I ended up winning without pulling the trigger on that, which is disappointing, but it would have worked. There is one more minion that theoretically combos with Space Knight. In fact, Space Knight is the only way I could think of using this card, and that is Poopox. I've actually never seen this talent used ever, and if you have used it, please let me know in the comments and whether or not it worked. Poopox has you lose 1 VP to draw 3 cards and play one of them as an extra card. This is obviously a desperation play, and if you are going to offer up a precious VP token, you better know what you are getting so that your plan can work. Space Knight will give you that information. The Poopox topic is bigger than the scope of this video, so I'm keeping the reference brief, but it's relevant to Space Knight, so it's worth mentioning. So Space Knight is a lot more useful than I originally thought, mostly because I need to get over my own bias over revealing cards. She definitely brings out the best of her lesser minions, and card draw is critical in Smash Up, so I've come to value her ability more than in the past. The Astro Knights have some great actions that increase power, like use the 4s, and block the probe, which makes for a great last-minute special. As far as how Space Knight combines with other minions, I get this question a lot, and I like to say that no, Space Knight cannot draw Argonaut because he is not in action. He can just be played as an action. If you use Space Knight wisely, the Astro Knights are a force to be reckoned with. No, Eric, that wasn't a pun, it's just an expression people use all the time. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's shut it down.